Hey, I'm Felix, and welcome to Millennial Dad Explains. Every week I break down one thing your kid needs to learn, give you the words to explain it, and a game you can play together tonight. Let's figure this out. Last week we planted one coin and watched it explode into millions. And then your kid asked the question, the one every single investor on earth eventually asks, what if I plant it and I lose it all? Most channels dodge that question. We don't. Today, your kid learns what risk really is, why it's the price of growing, and the 3 rules that tame it. Honestly, no fairy tales. Here's the truth we skipped last week. Not every seed grows. You can plant 2 seeds the exact same way, same soil, same water, and one becomes a plant while the other just doesn't. That chance, the chance that it doesn't work out, has a name, risk. And every kind of planting has some. So meet the 2 jars. The quiet jar is like a piggy bank. Your coins sit there, safe, exactly where you left them. It almost never surprises you. The brave jar is planted money. It can grow, sometimes a lot. But here's the deal your kid needs to hear out loud. The brave jar can also shrink. Growth and shrink come in the same package. You cannot order one without the other. And some seasons, it does shrink. The plant droops. The pile gets smaller than it was last month. That feeling in your kid's stomach right now, that's the feeling grown-ups get too. It has a name, loss. And pretending it doesn't exist is how people get hurt. So we're going to look straight at it. Remember the hockey stick from last week? That smooth line was the cartoon version. Here's the real shape of planted money. It zigzags, down, and still, over the years, up. Bumpy, but up. The bumps are not the plant breaking. The bumps are the ride. Now the rule that unlocks everything. Risk and reward are twins. They grow together. The bigger the growth something promises, the bigger the dips it can take along the way. Which means if anyone, a game, an app, a person, ever promises your kid big growth with 0 risk, that's not an offer. That's a trick. Lock that sentence in now. We'll hunt those tricks in a future episode. Say it with me. Risk and reward. 2 sides of one coin, literally. The quiet jar, tiny risk, tiny reward. The brave jar, real risk, real reward. Neither one is the right jar. They're tools, and smart families use both. One thing before we go further, and I'm saying it slowly because it matters. Taking smart risk is not gambling. Gambling is betting money you care about on pure luck, hoping for a jackpot tonight. Planting is putting patient money into things that grow over years with rules protecting you. Same word, risk, completely different game. This channel teaches planting, never betting. So how do families tame risk? 3 rules, kid-sized. 1, only plant money you will not need for a long time. 2, never plant money you'd cry about tomorrow. And 3, when the plant droops, and someday it will, you don't dig it up in a panic. You wait. Waiting is the superpower. Write those on the fridge. Okay, your kid now knows what risk is, what loss feels like, and the 3 rules. Now stay with me, parent, because the next part is the honest math nobody showed us, and it changes how you'll feel about every scary headline for the rest of your life. Just us now. Here's what I will not hide from you. There are years when planted money shrinks. Not maybe, will. In a rough year, a diversified pile can drop by 1/5. In a terrible one, by 1/3 and sometimes more. If nobody ever told you that, every drop feels like the end of the world. But watch what the next number does to that fear. Remember last week's 7% a year, the long-run average for invested money? Here's the part that should make you exhale. That average already includes the terrible years, the drops, the crashes, the scary headlines. They're baked in. The bumpy line and the smooth line end up in the same place. History's average survived every single storm it contains. That's not a promise about tomorrow, but it's a very calming fact about how the shape works. Here's the secret in one picture. Up close, one day, 1 month, 1 year, planted money looks wild. Zoom out to 10 or 20 years, and those same bumps flatten into a climb. Time doesn't erase risk. Time tames it, which is one more reason the kid watching this has the biggest advantage in the room. They have the most time of anyone. And here's how your family decides how much risk to take. 3 jars. Now money. Lunch, bills, this month. Soon money, the goal you're saving for, like our skate goal from a few weeks back. Later money, years away. Now money never gets planted. Soon money, almost never. Later money? That's the only money the brave jar is for. Say it as a family rule, and half your risk decisions make themselves. Confession time, because I promised you honesty. The first time my planted money dropped hard, I panicked. I dug it all up, sold everything, right at the bottom. The drop didn't cost me. My panic did. The plant was going to recover. Mine just wasn't in the ground anymore when it happened. The mistake is almost never the dip. It's quitting during the dip. And the caveat, because I won't sell you a fairy tale either. Sometimes a loss is forever. A company dies. A fad ends. A sure thing was a trick all along. Waiting doesn't fix a bad seed. That's exactly why the rules exist. Why families spread their seeds around, and why anyone promising you a garden with no winters is lying. Risk can be tamed. It can never be deleted. Anyone who says otherwise wants your coins. Time to make your kid feel all of this. Tonight, in 10 minutes. The game is called the Brave Plant. 2 jars race each other, and your kid gets to be both kinds of saver at once. You need a die, a pencil, the 2-column tracker from the play pack below, and a handful of coins or buttons. Each jar starts with 1 coin. The seed. 10 rounds. That's the whole setup. Every round, the quiet jar earns 1 coin. Always. Boring and beautiful. The brave jar rolls the die. Roll a 1? It loses 2 coins. Say ouch out loud. Feel it. Roll anything else? It gains 2. Write both totals each round and say them out loud as you go. Before round 1, stop and ask your kid to predict which jar wins. Write the guess down. Then play. Most games, the brave jar wins the race, even after those awful ones. But some games it loses, and when that happens, do not rescue the moment. That's the lesson standing in your kitchen. Risk is real, and it still, usually, patiently, pays. Then plot both jars, 1 dot per round, 2 lines. 1 line is a calm staircase. The other zigzags like a mountain range. Ask your kid, which line was scarier to live through? Which one ended higher? Sit in that gap for a second. That gap is where every grown-up money decision lives. And the version that counts this week, take your kid's saved money and sort it together into the 3 jars. Now soon. Later. Label real jars if you can. The magic jar from last week keeps its monthly growth bonus. But now, 1 bad month a year, you decide when the bonus is negative. A drooping season on purpose. Then watch them learn to hold on. That's risk training with training wheels. The Brave Plant Tracker is in the description below. Free. 2 columns, the guest box, the graph grid, and the parent guide with the 3 rules for the fridge. Print it, grab a die, and race the jars tonight. So here's the whole video in 1 line. You can't delete risk. You tame it with time and rules. Fear digs up plants. Patience grows them. Next week, we take the biggest idea this channel has ever taught, the compound plant, and we do something wild with it. We take away the money, because the same magic that grows coins grows kids. Race the jars tonight and tell us in the comments which jar won at your table. See you next week. Now you've got the play. Try it tonight and tell me how it went in the comments. If this helped, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. I'm Felix. Let's keep figuring this out.